In this video I'm going to be giving you a few tips on how to speed up your computer on Windows 8 and 8.1. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking to start with, but do stick around because I think you'll find this information useful. Now, one of the things that does slow down a computer is programs. Now, you might be installing programs on your computer and maybe not knowing that they're running in the background when you install them. Now, the more you install, the more they may run in the background, so over time it may get slower and slower. So you may want to look into looking through what programs you have and removing the ones you don't need, and maybe stopping the ones you don't want running in the background as well, which I'll be showing you later on in this tutorial. But I want to highlight one program which can cause a problem, and that is Antivirus. Antivirus can be very high on resources depending on what it is. Now, you know, when you go to a computer shop like PC World, they tend to recommend that you have in say Norton on your computer, and you know, you'll pay this money thinking it's going to be the best that there is, and you take it and you find your computer over time gets slower and slower, and you know, it's promoted. They're probably getting a cut out of it. It's in the media, you know, recommend Norton, and also on websites like this one here, which I'll be showing you. It's on Lifehacker. Now, here we have a chart that shows the average boot times, and it's showing Norton being the quickest to boot up on a computer, which I strongly disagree with. I go around people's houses, fix computers regularly, and I see this right here being the problem. Norton is so heavy on resources, and it can cause issues as well. I've seen it cut out the internet for people. I've also seen it where it's attached to emails, it can slow it right down, especially if you're using like Outlook or Outlook Express. It can really cause a problem. So I know once I remove it, these problems go away. So this I do not recommend, and I do not agree with this being the quickest to boot up, because it takes absolutely forever to load up. If you've got a slower machine, and I know it may be different if you've got a high-end PC or something, but the trouble is most people haven't. And you know, you've got McAfee here, you've got ESET, you've got Kaspersky, paid products, again quite heavy on resources and can cause an issue. I've seen it many times before. AVG is a free antivirus program with the option of, you know, paid. It's good, but again, it's high on resources. I hate to say, it does cause a problem, and I've had problems with it. I've had to even force remove it using their removal tool because it doesn't always want to go. So I don't really recommend this being the best free option. Avast is good. I do like it. It's more lightweight. It's a lot more lightweight than AVG, and the same Avira here. But the lightest out of all these is this one. Microsoft Security Essentials, which is for Windows 7. This is the lightest antivirus to use. On Windows 8 it's called Windows Defender. They've just renamed it. It's the same thing pretty much, and it's actually already on your computer. You probably just don't realize it. So this one is the one I would go for, and you'll probably be wondering why I'm recommending this over a paid one. Well, to be honest, I've seen viruses go through every single one of these, no matter if it's paid or free. The truth is, it's only a first line defense no matter what antivirus you've got. But I mean, why pay for an antivirus if it's going to slow your computer down so you can barely use it? I mean, what's the point of that? You might as well have a free one like this one here, which is quick to run and boot up. It's not intrusive, it just does what it's meant to do. Like I say, it's not 100%, but it does the job. That is the main thing. The best way to stop you getting viruses and things is just educating yourself, learning how to protect yourself. And this can be, you know, being careful what websites you go on, you know, recognizing what's a bad website, and also not opening attachments from strangers, or you know, or just recognizing what types of attachments not to open. Just being careful all of the time. And if you're worried about your emails getting hacked, you just change the password, make it stronger. Don't use something that's obvious. It's all these tips, you know, is what you need to know when it comes to security. There is other programs that run in the background. You might have iTunes or you might have Skype. You need to really think about what you really need running in the background. If you want to disable them from running in the background, you can simply go into the program settings. So launch the program, have a look at its settings, and see if there's an option of disabling it from running at startup. You can also force it from running in the background at startup. You can do this by going to Task Manager, but first you need to go to Start menu. If you right click on that and then go to Task Manager, you can also get to that by going to the Charms menu right up here and go to Search. In the search box type Task Manager, like so, and then click on Task Manager, and then right at the top click on Startup. And here is where you can see what's running in the background at startup, and you can disable them just by clicking on them. Let's have a look at Skype here. Click on it once and it highlights it, and then click on disable, and then when you reboot, that will no longer launch. So think about what you need running in the background, and if you're not sure what a program is, you can type it in Google and you may get sort of an idea there of what these programs are that are running in the background. Alternatively, you can also ask people in the comments section below this video and type the program name in there, and I'm sure either me or other people that watch this video can help you identify a program that's running in the background. Another thing that can slow down a computer is viruses. You may have viruses on your computer, or malware, or anything like that. You might have infections on your computer and you might need to clean them. Now sometimes you can use your antivirus and it will find them and remove them, but I have seen many times before that all of these antivirus products don't get rid of all of the infections, so you may need something a little stronger. Now one of the programs I do recommend is Malwarebytes. If I bring that into view here, this one right here, Malwarebytes, is extremely good at getting rid of viruses. Now I'm not saying it's going to get rid of all viruses, because some of them are a little bit more tricky, and more tricky than just simply running it and doing a scan and removing them. Sometimes you have to do it in a more advanced way, like going into safe mode and doing it that way. But if I launch Malwarebytes here, click on yes, if user account control appears, just wait for it to load up. Might take a little while here. I'll just fix my database here. It's going to update the database. So this is Malwarebytes, and if you want to do a scan, you just simply press scan now, and it'll check for updates automatically. Then it will go through the process of scanning your computer for viruses, and I think you'll be quite surprised of what this might find. It'd be interesting to know. Put a comment in the comment section below this video, and tell me what antivirus you've got running on your computer, and tell me if you've found anything using this program while you've got that antivirus on your computer, because I've seen this with Norton and every antivirus. People have had viruses or some sort of infection and they haven't found it, but this program has. So it'll be interesting to see. So do tell us that. Now once you're finished and it's done a scan, and if it's found anything, it will come up with a list of infections. Just tick the boxes there, and or just press quarantine all, I think it is, and then it will be done. It might ask you to restart your computer, but the infection should be gone. I'm just going to cancel for now because that will take a while. So this is a very good program, and you may also want to go even stronger than that. And there's another program, it's called Hitman Pro. If you type that in Google, and I'll probably put the link in the description to both of these anyway. But this is a program that has found viruses that even this one doesn't find. So it's worth trying that one out as well. I do recommend both of these. Yeah, so do check that out. Another way of speeding up your computer is to do a defrag. Over time your data gets scattered about on the hard drive, and the hard drive ends up having to work harder to find your data. If you can just imagine, there's a disk spinning which is your hard drive in your computer, and it's spinning all the time, and it has a head with a needle, sort of like a record player, and that needle has to work really hard at finding your data if it's scattered about all over the place. So you can imagine it going backwards and forwards, or side to side, should I say, continuously trying to find your data. But if you do a defrag, it organizes your data on that disk nice and neatly, like in a line, and it makes the head work a lot less harder, to actually find your data. So this actually helps the health of your hard drive, makes it last longer than if it was all over the place. And it also can help speed up your computer because it's not having to work so hard at finding your data. So you can actually use the Defragger program that's on your computer already, but I wouldn't recommend using that one. I prefer to use a third-party program which is safer to use, and I'll show you that right now. If I bring up the website here, it's called Defraggler. I'm going to put a link to this page in the description to this video, and I'll also put it on the screen right about now. And you'll be able to go to that link and you'll see this exact page, and you just click on download right here. And then when you click download, you choose one of these right here. I'm going to click the bottom link, and then it will say thank you for downloading, and it will begin to download, as you can see down here on Google Chrome. And just wait for it to finish off. It may take a little while depending on your internet speed and your computer speed. Let's wait for a little while. Once it's finished, just tap it to install, and then it will say user account control. Just press yes if you see that, and then it will begin to bring up the installation wizard, and you just go next. Usually I leave all these ticked, but it's up to you. Press install. Okay, it's installed in the program right now. You just have to wait for a bit here. And then here at the last step, usually I untick release notes because we don't review that unless you really want to, obviously. But I usually leave this ticked, run Defraggler, if you want to actually launch the program, which we do because I want to show you how to use it. So click finish. Okay, so here we have the program open, and up the top it usually highlights the default drive, the one you're using right now, which will be my local disk C, which has your operating system on usually. So now what you do is you go down to here where it says defrag, the defrag button. You click on that and it'll begin to defrag your hard drive there. And if you use the arrow, the down arrow that's next to it, you can do a quick defrag if you haven't got much time, or you can do the full one here. Now doing the defrag could take a while, the full defrag. I mean, it could take an hour to quite a few hours. It could take sometimes half a day or maybe a whole day. It really depends on the size of your hard drive or how much it needs to defrag, etc. So you may need to be patient, you may need to leave it running and just let it go through it. So as you can see, it's now defragging my computer, and up here you can actually see a visual look at what's happening. It may not mean much to you, but it's nice to see something moving, I suppose. So yeah, this program is really good, and this will just defrag your computer here, make it a little faster hopefully. I'm going to stop for now because I don't want to do it right now, so it will take too long. I'll cross it off, and I'll show you that on your desktop. If I move my recorder a bit more over, you can see here Defraggler, the icon's on the desktop, so you can just double tap that to launch it if you want to run Defraggler at any time. If you're finding your internet browser is getting a little bit too slow to launch up, and also maybe you have toolbars appearing at the top, and maybe your start page has changed, it's usually to do with extensions. Now I'm going to show you how to deactivate them or remove them from Google Chrome and also Internet Explorer. Obviously I can't show you all of the browsers because it will take too long, but first of all, Google Chrome, let's have a look at that. So launch Google Chrome, and at the top right hand corner you see these three lines. If you click on that, go to settings, and then on the left hand side underneath history, go to extensions. Now here we have a list of extensions right here. Usually the Google ones are fine, But if there's any that you think looks a bit suspicious, you may want to look into deactivating it or removing it fully. I would usually remove it completely here. If you find that you've removed it and these come back, you may have an infection on your computer, and you may need to do a virus scan and see if you can remove that to stop it from coming back, because they can activate again. So it's worth checking back at this point here. Now sometimes if you remove one of these extensions and your start page is still the same as it was, go to settings, and if you click on this one here that says open a specific page or set of pages, click on that, and it makes a little dot in the circle. Then go to set pages, this link here, and then if you hover over the ones that are already there, click on the X to remove the one you don't want, like so. And you can remove all of them first, and then add a new page, type in the address here, and it could be, you know, google.co.uk or something, and it goes in the box like this, and then press OK. I'm going to leave mine as it is, and then that will change the start page. So when you close the browser, relaunch it, it'll then go to Google. I'm going to put mine back to this because I use something different. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at Internet Explorer. So we launch Internet Explorer, and as you can see, my start page has changed on this browser. So I want to change this to Google, so I'm going to show you how to do that first. At the top right hand corner, you've got this cog here. It's the tools menu. Click on that, go down to Internet Options, and then in the Internet Options box, if I just bring it into view a bit better, up here it says to create a home page tabs, type each address on its own line. So here, if I'm just going to type in an address, you delete what's in the box, type in the website you want to put in there. I'm going to put google.co.uk, then press apply and OK. Then if you close the browser and then relaunch it, it will then go to Google, or alternatively you can just press the home button at the top here and it goes back to Google, as you can see. Now let's have a look at extensions, because you may have things up the top here like toolbars, similar to this one here, but this one's okay to use, but you may have a toolbar that's making it slow and sluggish, and maybe it's causing problems. So let's have a look at that. Go to the cog again, and then this time go to manage add-ons. So here we are, and this, like Google Chrome, you have a list of extensions here, and look around and just see which ones you don't need. A lot of the Microsoft ones are okay. If you click on one you don't want, like this one here, and you can see it's enabled, down the bottom just click disabled, and then once you're finished just press close, and you know, that will hopefully help you there. But again, if it does come back, then you may have an infection on your computer, so do a virus scan. Once you do this, you need to close your browser and relaunch it and see if the toolbar is gone, or whatever problem you had before is gone. So doing this might help. Certainly will help speed it up as well. If you find your computer is still running very slow even after doing a cleanup, you may have a problem with your hard drive. I've certainly seen this before with hard drives that are faulty. So to find out, go to your task manager. To get to that, you go to your start menu at the bottom left hand corner of the screen, right click that and go to task manager. You can also get there by going to the charms menu, go to search, type task manager in the search box, then click on the task manager icon. Right at the top you've got performance tab. If you click on that, and here is where you can monitor your CPU, memory and hard drive. Having a look at the CPU, mine's currently at 8%, which is perfectly normal. It's not really peaking too much there, only a little peak there, which is not a problem. That's perfectly normal to see that. The memory, I've got 8 gigs of RAM in total. It's only at 31%, that's not an issue. The hard drive, it's showing about 6% to 0. It's not really pushed at all. But certainly if yours is peaking to about 100% and it's staying that way, it's definitely a problem. Even if you've you know, made sure that your startup programs are not running anymore and you've got very little running in the background, and it's peaking like that, that is definitely an issue. So this is the one I want you to monitor, the hard drive, just see if that's peaking too high and staying that way, because I've seen this happen even with brand new laptops. People have bought a new laptop and it's running so slow, and it could be because the hard drive is faulty, and it's right up here, I found. So check that out and just see if that's the case. And then if you have to get a new hard drive and your computer's not under warranty, I'll definitely recommend the solid state drive. The reason for that is because it's got no moving parts. It's a lot faster. Your computer will boot up really quick, and also it doesn't produce as much heat, and also it helps with battery life on a laptop as well. So I definitely recommend it, but it is quite an expensive piece of equipment. You get it costs a lot of money for less space, but the performance is great, so do check that out. Okay, this was part 1 of how to speed up your computer on Windows 8 and 8.1. I hope you found this useful. Do check out part 2 when I create it shortly, and don't forget to subscribe to my videos. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.